Are you tired of your prospecting time getting eaten up by guessing games and overwhelm and friction in the process? I get it. What I'm gonna do is walk you through a very simple prospecting routine that you can just kind of fall back on when you feel stuck and like you're winging it. This is perfect for any real estate agent who isn't into the cold calling, isn't into the door knocking, and maybe just wants a better way to foster genuine connections that are going to lead to real relationships, real referrals, and great clients for life. Let's lay some foundational ground rules here first. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my weekly follow-up flow. That's what I love to call it. You're gonna love it too. It is so simple, and when I walk you through it, you're gonna be like, Stephanie, is that it? That's kind of the point. I don't want you to be thinking more about this process than is absolutely necessary. The trick to consistency when it comes to prospecting is to keep it as simple as possible. Now, in terms of prospecting for real estate agents, here are some just high-level metrics that you wanna hit. You wanna be prospecting about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day minimum. Doesn't all have to be in one chunk, but you know, it's gotta get done. And it should probably get done the first thing. So for me, I always make sure that from like 9 to 11 at the start of business, before I even really get like into email and digging around in my inbox looking for other people's problems, I am knocking out this follow-up flow first. I've got a bunch of other like little hacks and tips. So if you want me to like go even more in depth on this subject, happy to do that. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel so I know you're into this kind of topic. Okay, so in terms of my weekly follow-up flow, I actually created a reel about this on Instagram. A lot of you guys liked it. I had a lot of DMs about it. So I'm gonna walk you through a little bit more in depth how I manage my weekly follow-up flow and how I theme my days to categorize the people that I'm following up with, just to make it super simple and kind of thoughtless. Not thoughtless in that I'm not being intentional, but thoughtless in that it's kind of just becomes a habit that I don't have to really force. Monday is my theme day of like database. Whenever I think of Monday, I think of setting my week up and having my most positive, happy, nurturing conversations, and that is usually with my database, or as we like to refer to, the sphere of influence. So a lot of these individuals that I'm reaching out to are people who I already have a relationship with, like know, like, and trust people. These are my past clients. These are my friends and family. Anyone who's got a birthday coming up that week. These are a little bit more like pleasantry and follow-up calls. And I would also include anybody who has already purchased a home recently, who I just want to check in on and see how they're doing. During this time, because it's Monday, you might also want to follow up with any leads that came in over the weekend that need to be kind of sorted out. That would mean like any open house leads that you collected from an open house over the weekend that you said you were going to follow up with, or any referrals that you received, DMs on Instagram, YouTube leads, whatever you got. Now, for the Market Authority Academy, you guys know that I have a few tricks when it comes to the database calls, but basically I'm not calling my entire database. I'm just calling like the first 5 or 10 people that show up on my list. So again, your goal is really only to like reach out to as many people as you can to create about 5 conversations here. We use the ABC method in the Market Authority Academy, but you can sort your list for your database however you see fit. As I'm discussing the database, I think that this is a conversation that we probably need to have a refresher on this channel. So let me know in the comments if you want a more in-depth video regarding how I manage my database for maximum referrals. Okay, let's table the database conversation because that can become a can of worms. Let's move on to Tuesday in my follow-up flow. Tuesday, very simply, I am always making sure that we are reaching out to our current clients. So those are like current client update calls. And these are really helpful for a couple of different reasons. Number one, this is helpful for reaching out to clients who we want to be a little bit more in front of because they are actively shopping, right? Like actively looking at homes. Maybe they are trying to set showing appointments. Maybe they're in the middle of a pre-qualification that's taking a little bit longer than they thought it would take. And so we want to make sure that we're in front of them for that. But this is also for clients who are currently under contract or pending. And the reason why I love doing these on Tuesday is because it allows me to kind of do a little bit of a recap and and to prep them for anything that's coming up. So for example, a conversation with somebody who's actively listed with no offers on the table might be to recap any feedback that we collected from those weekend's showings, or to prep them on showings that are coming up throughout the week. These are also great calls for buyers who are pending for a purchase, and they're kind of in that no man's land part of the transaction where you're past the inspection period and we're just waiting on underwriting. So there's not really a lot that you can reach out to them for, but just a gentle touch base midweek to see how they're doing and see if there's any way that you can serve them. Maybe offer them a referral for carpet cleaners or anything that they might need. Really goes a long way during that no man's land part of the transaction. Wednesday, very simple. On Wednesday for my follow-up flow, I am reaching out to other professionals. And so in the Market Authority Academy, if you're a part of the Academy, you know that we talk a lot about the top 50 professionals list. We love to have a list of those top 50 professionals locally who have alignment with our ideal clients. So for example, I might try to connect with local therapists, right? Or CPAs or attorneys who have clients who are in a similar demographic or place in life as my ideal clients. That way there's a lot of alignment in how we can provide service to our respective networks, and it makes sense to connect and look for ways that we can continue to refer each other to our respective client pools. And so on Wednesdays, I might reach out to just a handful of these individuals on my list and try to set some coffee dates or lunch dates coming up. Thursdays are all about hot opportunities, and really this is helpful because it allows you to look ahead to the weekend and try to set some appointments for maybe some showings, or maybe reach out to any open house leads that you're nurturing to invite to an open house that you might be holding over the weekend. Thursdays are a really great time to just reach out to hot leads, anyone you haven't spoken to yet, or maybe check in with some long-term nurturer that you haven't spoken to in the last couple of weeks, just to make sure you're staying in front of people who you know are actively looking to buy or sell in the next year or so, but maybe aren't quite in that current client status yet. And then on Fridays, that's kind of a light day for me because Friday is all about admin and CEO time. On Fridays, I am confirming any upcoming weekend or early next week appointments coming up. So if I have any appointments set on like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday that I have not confirmed yet, I'm going to confirm those. And then I'm going to leave a little time open for anything that was missed during the week, because we just went through a whole weekly follow-up flow, right? Monday is about your database SOI, whatever you want to call it. Tuesday are your current client updates. Wednesday are your top professionals. Thursday is your hot opportunities. You're definitely going to have a little trouble some weeks staying on top of that. We can't ignore that this is kind of a chaotic time in real estate. And so if something comes up, either personally or professionally, that derails your prospecting calls, it's nice to leave Friday open for anything else that was missed. So say you didn't get to finish your database calls that you had planned on doing on Monday, you can just kind of loop those into Friday and make sure you close the loop on that at the end of the week to ensure that you're getting the right calls done in place. And there you have it. Let's just recap one more time. Monday, database, and SOI. These are people who are already like that cozy know, like, and trust. We use the ABC method. If we need to go more in depth in another video, we can. Let me know in the comments. On Tuesday, those are current client update calls. Anyone who's currently in your pipeline, like either actively looking to buy or sell or already listed or pending under contract. Wednesday are your professional network, setting coffee dates and lunch dates, that kind of thing. Thursday are your hot opportunities and some follow-up and nurture. And Friday is admin and CEO time. So we are doing any confirmations for the weekend coming up, the week coming up, and anything that was left over from the week's follow-up flow. Again, this does not have to be crazy challenging. This doesn't have to take up more brain space than is necessary. However, if you want to go more in depth on this follow-up flow or see how I organize this, you've got two options. Number one, you can tell me in the comments and hope that I make a future video on it as I come up with the time. Or B, you can fast track your success and book a call with us in the Market Authority Academy, where I actually coach realtors through this process of time management, contact management, just learning these proper systems for that prospecting journey that they're on to become more efficient and more effective, and ultimately more profitable. So if you're into that and you want to learn more about the Market Authority Academy, all the details are in the show notes below. Check that out. I would love to see your name pop up on our calendars. That's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you found this so super helpful. Till next time, keep on crushing it.